You've heard the rumors. Now discover which ones were shockingly true. Hollywood's most scandalous actresses have secrets you won't want to miss. Number 25. Marlene Dietrich insured her voice for $1 million. What's a $1 million voice sound like? For Marlene Dietrich, it was more than just her sultry tone. It was her legacy. Marlene Dietrich, the iconic German-American actress and singer, was a symbol of glamour and sophistication in Hollywood's golden age. Known for her sultry voice and striking screen presence, Dietrich's allure was unparalleled. One of the most fascinating rumors about her, which turned out to be true, is that she insured her voice for a staggering $1 million. This was not merely a publicity stunt. It reflected the immense value placed on her unique vocal talent. Dietrich's voice, characterized by its deep, husky tone, was a significant part of her persona and appeal. She used it to great effect both in her film roles and her singing career, enchanting audiences worldwide. The decision to insure her voice was a savvy move, ensuring financial protection against any potential damage that could have ended her career. This act underscored how critical her voice was to her success and longevity in the entertainment industry. Marlene Dietrich's insured voice remains a testament to her exceptional status in Hollywood and highlights how stars of that era took extraordinary measures to preserve their assets. Her voice insured for such a colossal sum further cemented her legacy as one of the most iconic figures in cinema history.
Is it tough for you to protect your privacy?
Well, it's easy with the boat.
Number 24. Natalie Wood's mysterious death. What really happened that night on the yacht? The mysterious drowning of Natalie Wood has haunted Hollywood for decades. Natalie Wood, the beloved actress known for her roles in West Side Story and Rebel Without a Cause, died under mysterious circumstances in 1981. Her death by drowning off the coast of Catalina Island remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. Despite being ruled an accidental drowning at the time, rumors of foul play have persisted for decades, casting a shadow over the tragic event. Wood was on a yacht named Splendor with her husband, actor Robert Wagner, and their friend, actor Christopher Walken, the night she died. According to official reports, she went missing after an argument, and her body was found floating in the water the next morning. The initial investigation concluded that she had fallen overboard while trying to secure a dinghy. However, questions about the circumstances of her death have never been fully resolved. In 2011, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department reopened the case, citing new evidence and witness statements that contradicted earlier accounts. Some suggested that Wagner might have been involved in her death, although he has consistently denied any wrongdoing. The case was reclassified as suspicious in 2018, but no charges were filed. Natalie Wood's mysterious death continues to captivate the public, with speculation and theory about what truly happened that fateful night persisting to this day.
Mental balance sheet that people are doing tips them over in the direction of killing themselves.
Number 23. The passing of Peg Entwistle. What drives a young starlet to climb the iconic Hollywood sign and leap to her death? This tragic tale is haunting. Peg Entwistle, a promising young actress, became tragically famous not for her performance on stage, but for her heartbreaking death. On September 16, 1932, at the age of 24, Entwistle climbed to the top of the H in the iconic Hollywood sign and leaped to her death. Her passing is often viewed as a stark symbol of the darker side of the Hollywood dream. Innocent Lillian Entwistle in Wales, Peg moved to America with her family, where she pursued a career in theater. She achieved some success on Broadway, appearing in several productions and garnering positive reviews for her performances. Despite her talents, transitioning from stage to screen proved challenging. Entwistle moved to Hollywood, hoping to make her mark in the burgeoning film industry, but struggled to find roles. Despondent over her stalled career and personal setbacks, Entwistle's final act was A Note Left Behind, expressing her despair. Her body was discovered 2 days later, and read, "I am afraid I am a coward. I am sorry for everything. If I had done this a long time ago, it would have saved a lot of pain." Ironically, a letter offering her a role in a film arrived shortly after her death, a tragic reminder of the opportunity she never had the chance to embrace. Peg Entwistle's story remains a poignant reminder of the pressures and heartbreaks often hidden behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood.
I want 10 cans of lacquer on my hair. It would be over here.
Number 2, Veronica Lake's downfall. An iconic hairstyle couldn't hide the tragic fall from grace. Veronica Lake went from Hollywood sweetheart to a cautionary tale. Veronica Lake, known for her iconic peekaboo hairstyle and sultry screen presence, experienced a meteoric rise to fame in the 1940s. However, her career suffered a tragic downfall due to her struggles with alcoholism and erratic behavior. Initially celebrated for her roles in films like Sullivan's Travels and This Gun for Hire, Lake's personal demons began to overshadow her personal achievements. Her alcoholism led to on-set difficulties and conflicts with colleagues, tarnishing her reputation in Hollywood. As her behavior became increasingly unpredictable, film offers dwindled, and she found herself out of favor in the industry. Lake's once promising career rapidly declined, and she faced financial hardship, eventually working as a barmaid to make ends meet. Despite brief attempts at comebacks, Veronica Lake's legacy remains a poignant reminder of the devastating impact of addiction and the fleeting nature of fame in Hollywood. Her story is a sobering example of how personal struggles can derail even the brightest career.
Except for Mickey Rooney. We had fun.
Number 21, Judy Garland's treatment at MGM. She was Hollywood's darling, but behind the scenes, Judy Garland faced a nightmare. Her battles were rooted in the industry's darkest practices. Being launched into stardom by Hollywood's biggest studio would be a lot for any teenager. Judy Garland had more than overnight fame to worry about. The bigwigs at MGM not only controlled her food intake, but also fed her pills that contributed to substance use disorder for the rest of her life. For years, it seems her struggles were chalked up to personal problems, but the truth has since become more widely known. Indeed, there's no denying that whatever Garland may have dealt with throughout her life was made exponentially worse by the systematic psychological and physical mistreatment she withstood.
I kept trying to say, don't do it, don't get off that screen.
Number 20, Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine's sisterly feud. Sibling rivalry is one thing, but what happened when both sisters are vying for Hollywood's crown? The tension was real. Siblings growing up to become Oscar-winning movie stars is a Hollywood melodrama in the making. Throughout the 1940s, sisters Olivia de Havilland and Joan Fontaine were dogged by rumors about their long-standing animosity. Even when photos surfaced of one actively snubbing the other backstage at the Oscars, the two largely kept it classy for the media without necessarily denying the estrangement either. While they have went through a lot over the decades, the tension was reportedly never resolved. De Havilland was famously cagey about their feud up until the end of her life, but Fontaine spoke more freely about it once the strictures of old Hollywood fell away.
The stars should be your pearls upon a string in the world, a ruby for your fingering.
Number 19, Loretta Young's child with Clark Gable. The rumor of a secret child was too juicy to ignore, and when the truth came out, it was even darker than expected. An ill-timed pregnancy could ruin a young actress's life. This was back in the day when studios often pressured expectant actresses to terminate pregnancies in order to keep their contracts. But Loretta Young, a strict Catholic, came up with a plan to hide her pregnancy and later claimed she had adopted the child. As her daughter, Judy Lewis, grew, she began to resemble her famous father. The rumors were rampant. Young didn't tell her daughter the truth until well into adulthood, but eventually she confirmed that Clark Gable was Judy's biological father. The dark truth was exposed after all three were dead. Unfortunately, the encounter with Gable that resulted in Young's pregnancy with Lewis was not consensual.
I've told you a million times not to talk to me when I'm doing my lashes.
Number 18, Jean Harlow was forced to marry. Hollywood's bombshell was more than just a beauty icon. Jean Harlow was forced into a marriage that hid a scandalous affair. Jean Harlow was the original blonde bombshell. She catapulted to stardom after appearing in Howard Hughes' Hell's Angel. It's fair to say that Harlow had a tumultuous life. She married her first husband on January 18, 1927 at age 15 and was divorced a few years later. Her second husband was killed in a gunshot accident, though there was much speculation that she had killed him. Then she had an affair with a married boxer. When the scandal threatened to become public, the studio forced her to marry cinematographer Harold Rawson. However, the marriage was for public consumption only, and they quietly divorced a few months later, when the scandal was forgotten. Harlow did want to marry William Powell. She fell for him in 1935 on the set of Reckless and wanted to get married, have a family, and give up acting. But Powell was not reckless. He had just been divorced from Carol Lombard and thought the public might not like him to marry so soon. He also made it clear that he never wanted children. Powell's caution, however, only went so far, and Harlow soon found herself pregnant. Knowing that he did not want children and that the studio would never tolerate an unmarried mother, Harlow aborted the baby that she wanted and never told Powell what had happened.
Potatoes, Miss Bankhead?
No, thank you very much. Whenever I rehearsed a play, I was on a very strict diet. No, thank you. But life is short.
Number 17, Tallulah Bankhead had multiple abortions. Her lifestyle was wild, but Tallulah Bankhead's Hollywood journey was marked by tragic decisions and defiant actions. Tallulah Bankhead was as famous inside Hollywood for her sexual activity as she was for her beauty around the rest of the world. At one point, she was said to have had 185 notches on her bedpost, and she hadn't finished counting. Knowing that the studios would have not tolerated a pregnant star, Bankhead had 4 abortions by 30. She wasn't the only one. The studios had established protocol for the contingency and booked women into hospitals under false names for vague procedures. They were attended only by their own doctors, and visitors were strictly prohibited. Bankhead was one of the few regular visitors to the hospital. She was briefly married to a man whose proposal she accepted because he's the only one who asked me. It didn't last. Her promiscuity was legendary. She had affairs with men and women, often in semi-public places, and made a practice of opening her door to visitors naked. She is even said to have flashed the audience while performing in a Broadway play, causing a priest and 3 nuns to walk out. Bankhead was said to have regretted her abortions later in life when she found herself unable to have children due to a hysterectomy performed after she contracted gonorrhea. Number 16, Patricia Douglas was raped. Hollywood's dirty secrets aren't just gossip. This horrifying story was buried for decades, but the truth eventually came out. Patricia Douglas was a wannabe star. At 20, she was invited to attend an audition for MGM Studios. Unknown to her, the audition was a party thrown by Louis B. Mayer for MGM sales executives. The party had been in swing for 3 days by the time Douglas attended, believing that she might be getting her big break. Douglas was not worldly wise. She was a virgin from Kansas City, Missouri, who dreamed of being a star. She was not the only girl invited. In all, around 120 young women were bussed in to entertain approximately 300 drunken delegates at a remote ranch. Dressed in cowboy hats, short skirts, and boots, the girls were promised a hot meal and $7.50 for the entire day. Still, under the impression that they were taking part in a screen test, the girls had their makeup done and were told to wait on the set. Knowing that the film business was difficult and wanting to be professional, they waited for their cue. However, the sales executives believed that the girls were a different sort of professional altogether. Without transport or telephones, the women had no means of escape and had to fend off the male advances as best as they could. Douglas was brutally raped. Unlike others in Hollywood, she refused to be bought off and chose to press charges against MGM salesman David Ross. MGM hired the Pinkerton Detective Agency to dig up dirt on Douglas. When they could find none, they coerced people into claiming she was a promiscuous woman who had a sexually transmitted disease. The parking lot attendant initially said that he had seen her being attacked, but later changed his mind. Afterward, his children admitted that his later statements were untrue. Douglas's character was destroyed, and her assailant got away with rape.
Springs. The other day I decided to get away from Hollywood's hustle and bustle and absorb a little bit of sunshine. And
Number 15, stuck in Head of Hell. One woman controlled Hollywood's fate, and she wasn't even an actress. Hedda Hopper's wrath was feared by all. There were plenty of powerful people in Hollywood, but one name that struck fear into Tinseltown was Hedda Hopper. A failed actress, she began writing a gossip column in 1938. She quickly found success and, at the height of her popularity during the 1940s, commanded a readership of 35 million. Hopper was not shy about throwing her weight around, calling herself the biatch of the world. She took delight in ruining careers and marriages with just a few sentences. Louis B. Mayer referred to this as head of hell. Her favorite targets were communists and gays. As a founding member of the Motion Picture Alliance for the Preservation of American Ideals, she was one of the driving forces behind the Hollywood blacklist, which denied employment to people suspected of communist sympathies. Some of her most infamous targets included Dalton Trumbo, a screenwriter who was blacklisted until 1960. Charlie Chaplin was also routinely denigrated in Hopper's columns because she considered him to be living an immoral lifestyle. A quick and easy way to get on her bad side was to give a scoop to Luella Parsons, her competitor and arch-rival. That's what happened to Ingram Bergman, who lied about her pregnancy to Hopper and then told the truth to Parsons.
I could possibly have been doing, which I never did. I wasn't in a position to defend myself at the time these stories were published.
Number 14, the story of Frances Farmer. The Hollywood starlet's tragedy wasn't just her downfall. It was the harrowing rumor of a lobotomy that haunted her legacy. Illness is a problem, which is poorly understood even today. Back in the 1940s, Hollywood stars who dealt with the issue were merely fodder for tabloids. Perhaps there is no better example than Frances Farmer. A stage actress, Farmer made her Hollywood debut in 1936 and had a string of successful films throughout the decade. During the 1940s, however, the media began focusing more on reports of her erratic behavior than her career. Farmer was sentenced to 6 months in jail in January 1943. This came following an outburst in a courtroom in which she assaulted 2 police officers and threw an inkwell at the judge. From prison, Farmer was transferred to a sanitarium, where she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. After multiple stays in psychiatric hospitals, the actress mounted a modest comeback on television before passing away in 1970. You would think this would be the end of it, but in 1978, William Arnold published an account of Frances Farmer's life titled Shadowland, which asserted that while institutionalized, she was subjected to a lobotomy. Brooks Films turned the book into an award-winning movie called Frances and gave substantial credence to the legend, which is still prevalent today. Not as publicized is the fact that Arnold later sued Brooks Films and admitted in court that his account, lobotomy story included, was fictionalized.
Al and I helped build Pepsi to what it is today. I intend to stay.
Number 13, Joan Crawford's abuse allegations. Was Hollywood's most glamorous star really a monster behind closed doors? Joan Crawford's shocking truth was exposed by her own daughter. Joan Crawford, a legendary Hollywood actress, faced severe allegations of abuse from her adopted daughter, Christina Crawford. In her memoir, Mommy Dearest, Christina detailed the harsh and abusive behavior she endured, painting a stark contrast to Crawford's glamorous public image. The book describes physical and emotional abuse, strict discipline, and erratic outbursts, shedding light on a tumultuous household behind the scenes. Published in 1978, Mommy Dearest became a bestseller and sparked significant controversy. Other individuals close to Crawford, including her other children and household staff, later collaborated some of Christina's claims, adding credibility to the allegations. While some family members and friends defended Crawford, the memoir has left an indelible mark on her legacy, highlighting the complexities and dark aspects of her personal life.
Dressy and Cecil B. DeMille, but Clara was, as she called herself, the real jazz baby.
Number 12, Clara Bow's Troubled Life. The life of Hollywood's original it girl was anything but glamorous behind the scenes. Clara Bow's struggles led to a tragic end. Clara Bow, the quintessential it girl of the 1920s, captivated audiences with her vivacious charm and on-screen magnetism. Despite her meteoric rise to fame, Bow's life was fraught with personal turmoil and mental health struggles. Behind the glamour of her Hollywood persona, she faced numerous challenges that cast a shadow over her career. Bow's early life was marked by poverty and a troubled family background, which left deep emotional scars. As she transitioned into stardom, the pressures of Hollywood and the relentless scrutiny of her personal life exacerbated her mental health issues. She was rumored to have had several high-profile affairs and was often the subject of scandalous gossip, which further destabilized her already fragile state. Her tumultuous personal life, combined with the intense demands of her career, led to a breakdown that forced her to retire from acting at the young age of 28. Clara Bow's story is a poignant reminder of the often unseen struggles faced by those in the limelight, highlighting the harsh realities behind the facade of fame. Number 11, Pola Negri hosted a photo op at her boyfriend's funeral. When Hollywood's silent heartthrob died, his girlfriend turned his funeral into a spectacle. Pola Negri's drama didn't stop at the grave. It's not only today's social media devotees who are obsessed with setting up the perfect photo opportunity. Silent movie star Pola Negri gave photographers everything they could ask for at the funeral of her lover, Rudolph Valentino. Negri fainted not once, not twice, but 3 times. The second time onto Valentino's coffin, where she dramatically declared that he had proposed to her and called herself his widow. Her final blackout took place in front of the $2,000 flower arrangement that spelled out her first name in red and white roses.
I was a blonde to begin with, and when I went to Hollywood from New York, stage.
Number 10, Joan Bennett's husband shot her agent. When jealousy boils over, it can lead to shocking violence. This Hollywood scandal involved a gun, an affair, and a ruined career. Joan Bennett, a prominent actress of Hollywood's golden age, became embroiled in a sensational scandal in 1951 when her husband, producer Walter Wanger, shot her agent, Jennings Lang. The incident stemmed from Wanger's suspicion that Bennett was having an affair with Lang. On December 13, 1951, Wanger confronted Lang in a parking lot in Beverly Hills. Fueled by jealousy and anger, he shot Lang twice, wounding him in the groin and thigh. Lang survived the shooting, and the scandal quickly became front-page news, casting a shadow over Bennett's career. Wanger admitted to the shooting but claimed it was a crime of passion. He was charged with assault with a deadly weapon and served a brief prison sentence of 4 months. The scandal significantly impacted Bennett's career, leading to a decline in her film roles and public image. Despite the turmoil, Bennett managed to continue working in the industry, eventually finding success on television in the 1960s with her role on the gothic soap opera Dark Shadows. The shooting incident, however, remains a dramatic and true chapter in the annals of Hollywood history, highlighting the intense pressures and personal dramas behind the glitz and glamour of the film industry.
Well, I want to be alone. Where have you been?
Number 9. Greta Garbo's reclusiveness. I want to be alone wasn't just a line, it was her real-life mantra. Why did Greta Garbo walk away from it all? Greta Garbo, one of the most iconic actresses of the silent and early sound eras, is as well known for her reclusiveness as for her remarkable talent. After a highly successful career, Garbo retired from acting at the age of 35, retreating from the public eye and becoming an enigmatic figure. Born in Sweden, Garbo achieved international stardom with films like Anna Karina, Camille, and Ninotchka. Her mystique and captivating screen presence earned her the nickname The Divine. However, despite her fame, Garbo was notoriously private and uncomfortable with the pressures of celebrity life. This discomfort with fame contributed to her decision to retire in 1941 after her final film, Two-Faced Woman, received a lukewarm response. Post-retirement, Garbo lived a life of seclusion, primarily in New York City. She avoided interviews, public appearances, and even declined lucrative offers to return to acting. Her desire for privacy was so strong that she famously said, "I want to be alone," a line from her film Grand Hotel that became associated with her real-life persona. Garbo's reclusiveness only added to her allure, making her a subject of endless fascination and speculation. She remained a symbol of Hollywood's golden age, a mysterious figure who left an indelible mark on cinema but chose to live her life away from the spotlight. Her withdrawal from public life remains one of the most intriguing aspects of her legacy. Number 8. Rita Hayworth's name change. How far would you go to fit Hollywood's image? For Rita Hayworth, it meant erasing her roots and enduring painful changes. Rita Hayworth, one of Hollywood's most glamorous and enduring icons, was born Margarita Carmen Cancino. To fit the Hollywood image and broaden her appeal, she underwent a significant transformation, which included changing her name and altering her appearance. Born to a Spanish father and an Irish-American mother, young Margarita had a naturally dark and exotic look. When she signed with Columbia Pictures, studio head Harry Cohen believed that her ethnic appearance limited her casting potential. To make her more marketable as an all-American star, Cohen persuaded her to change her name to Rita Hayworth, adopting her mother's maiden name. In addition to the name change, Hayworth endured painful electrolysis session to raise her hairline and soften her widow's peak, giving her a more conventional Hollywood look. This process was not only physically painful, but also a testament to the extreme lengths studios would go to mold their stars' image. The transformation paid off, and Hayworth quickly rose to fame with roles in films such as Gilda and CoverGirl. She became one of the most celebrated actresses of the 1940s, known for her beauty, talent, and iconic status. However, her name change and physical alteration highlight the pressures and sacrifices faced by stars in the pursuit of Hollywood success, often at the cost of their personal identities.
Without a treaty of alliance with Egypt, you could not hold the territories under your command.
Number 7. Elizabeth Taylor's marriages. How many times can one star say, "I do"? Elizabeth Taylor's love life was just as dramatic as any of her movies. Elizabeth Taylor, one of Hollywood's most legendary actresses, was as famous for her tumultuous love life as she was for her on-screen performances. Known for her extraordinary beauty and talent, Taylor married 8 times to 7 different men, making headlines with each union. Her first marriage, at age 18, was to hotel heir Conrad Nicky Hilton Jr., which ended in divorce within a year. She then married actor Michael Wilding, with whom she had 2 children, followed by producer Mike Todd, who tragically died in a plane crash. Her most infamous marriages were to actor Richard Burton, whom she married and divorced twice. their passion and volatile relationship captivating the public. Taylor also wed singer Eddie Fisher, politician John Warner, and construction worker Larry Fortensky, whom she met at the Betty Ford Clinic. Each marriage brought its own drama and media frenzy, solidifying Taylor's reputation as a romantic icon, whose personal life was as dramatic as any film she starred in.
Truly grateful and terribly happy.
Number 6. Audrey Hepburn's wartime heroics. Audrey Hepburn wasn't just a style icon. During World War II, she secretly risked her life for the resistance. During World War II, Audrey Hepburn, then a young girl living in the Netherlands, demonstrated remarkable courage by aiding the Dutch resistance. Amid the German occupation, Hepburn risked her life to carry messages for the resistance, utilizing her youth and inconspicuous appearance to evade detection by Nazi forces. In addition to serving as a messenger, Hepburn also assisted in providing shelter and aid to downed Allied flyers, helping them evade capture and continue their missions. Her contributions extended to secret performances in underground black evenings, where she danced to raise money for the resistance, using her burgeoning talent to support the cause. Hepburn's wartime heroics, often overshadowed by her later fame, reflect her deep sense of compassion and bravery. These early experiences profoundly influenced her, shaping her lifelong commitment to humanitarian efforts and adding a poignant layer to the legacy of one of Hollywood's most beloved stars.
But when I'm bad, I'm better.
Number 5. Mae West's risque persona. She was Hollywood's original queen of controversy. Mae West turned scandal into stardom, challenging everything we thought we knew about women in film. Mae West, an iconic figure of early Hollywood, was as bold and provocative off-screen as she was in films. Known for her witty, double entendre-laden dialogue and unabashed confidence, West's persona challenged the conservative norms of her time. Her scripts often pushed the boundaries of censorship, leading to frequent clashes with the Hays Code, Hollywood's moral guidelines. West's plays and movies such as She Done Him Wrong and I'm No Angel featured strong, sexually confident female characters that defied traditional gender roles. She famously quipped, "I believe in censorship. I made a fortune out of it," highlighting how her controversies fueled her fame. West's fearless approach to sexuality and humor not only entertained but also paved the way for more open discussions about gender and desire in mainstream media. Her legacy remains a testament to her trailblazing spirit and unwavering defiance of societal constraints.
Hello? Where's Newton Police Station? Oh, óigame.
Number 4. Lupe Vallis's suicide. Hollywood's fiery Latin starlet met a tragic end. Lupe Vallis's dramatic suicide left behind questions and a haunting legacy. Lupe Vallis, known as the Mexican Spitfire for her fiery personality and dynamic performances, tragically ended her life in 1944. Born in Mexico, Vallis achieved fame in Hollywood during the 1920s and 30s with her vibrant and passionate acting style. However, her personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships and emotional struggles. In December 1944, Vallis reportedly despondent over an unplanned pregnancy and a failed relationship with actor Harold Maris, took her own life at the age of 36. She left behind a poignant note expressing her sorrow and heartbreak. Her death became highly sensationalized, with many lurid and inaccurate stories circulating about her final moments. Despite the tragic end to her life, Vallis' legacy endured as a pioneering Latin actress who broke barriers in Hollywood. Her story serves as a sobering reminder of the intense pressures and personal challenges faced by many stars behind the scenes, often hidden beneath the glamorous veneer of the entertainment industry.
I wonder where he is. Probably out lassoing some ferocious gazelle or something.
Number 3. Ava Gardner's wild lifestyle. Hollywood's ultimate femme fatale didn't just light up the screen. Her off-screen antics made her an unforgettable icon. Ava Gardner, one of Hollywood's most enchanting actresses, was renowned for her passionate and tumultuous love life, which became legendary in its own right. Her marriages to Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra were marked by intense emotions and public intrigue. Garner's first marriage to Rooney was short-lived, ending in divorce after just 1 year. She then married band leader Artie Shaw, but this union also quickly unraveled. Her most famous and volatile relationship was with Frank Sinatra, a romance filled with dramatic highs and lows and captivated the public. Gardner's wild lifestyle, characterized by her fiery personality and love affairs, often overshadowed her acting career. Yet, her undeniable talent and beauty left an indelible mark on Hollywood, making her one of the most unforgettable stars of her time.
I don't think being happy is a perpetual state that anyone can be in. No, his life isn't that.
Number 2. Grace Kelly's royal transformation. From Hollywood royalty to real-life princess, Grace Kelly's story is the ultimate fairy tale. But was it all happily ever after? Grace Kelly, one of Hollywood's most elegant and acclaimed actresses, made a dramatic life change at the peak of her career. Known for her roles in classics like Rear Window and To Catch a Thief, Kelly left the film industry in 1956 to marry Prince Rainier III of Monaco. This union transformed her from a Hollywood star into Princess Grace of Monaco. Kelly's marriage to Prince Rainier was a fairy tale come to life, captivating the world's imagination. Her transition from screen siren to royalty required her to embrace a new role with grace and poise, duties that she fulfilled impeccably. As Princess of Monaco, she dedicated herself to charitable work and raising her family, stepping away from the limelight of Hollywood. Grace Kelly's royal transformation remains one of the most fascinating chapters in Hollywood history, highlighting her ability to navigate and redefine her identity in two vastly different worlds. Her legacy endures as a symbol of timeless elegance and poise. Number 1. Theda Bara's exotic image. Hollywood's first vamp wasn't what she seemed. Theda Bara's entire persona was a brilliant lie, and it worked. Theda Bara, one of the silent film era's most iconic figures, was famously marketed as an exotic and mysterious vamp. Studio publicity portrayed her as a femme fatale with an enigmatic background, fueling her allure and public fascination. However, the truth was quite different. Bara was born Theodosia Burr Goodman in Cincinnati, Ohio in 1885. Far from the exotic origins suggested by her screen persona, she was the daughter of a local tailor and grew up in a typical Midwest environment. The studio executives at Fox Film Corporation crafted her mystique, giving her a stage name and a fabricated biography that hinted at Eastern European and Arab descent, complete with fabricated tales of occult studies and ancient lineage. This exotic image helped Bara become a massive box office draw, starring in films like A Fool There Was and Cleopatra. Her portrayal of seductive, dangerous women captivated audiences and set the template for the vamp archetype in cinema. Despite her real-life ordinariness, Theda Bara's carefully constructed persona left a lasting impact on Hollywood and popular culture. Thanks for watching. If you love these jaw-dropping Hollywood secrets, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark side of fame. Check out these videos for even more shocking celebrity stories. You won't believe what's next.